Good afternoon. Prince Albert Police responded to 232 calls for service from Friday evening through Monday morning. As a result, 48 people were arrested, with 22 of those being for public intoxication. 5 people were taken to the Brief Detoxification Center this weekend. The majority of calls over the weekend were in reference to intoxicated persons, suspicious incidents, and disturbances. A brief breakdown of calls is as follows. On Friday night, we responded to 63 calls. Saturday day shift, 57 calls. Saturday night shift, 53 calls. Sunday day shift, 28 calls. And Sunday night shift, 31 calls. In terms of updates, we have nothing from the Criminal Investigation Unit today. Active files continue to be investigated. File number 13-11983, further to Sunday's duty NCO release, Prince Albert Police responded to a family dispute in the 2800 block of Dunn Drive at approximately 4:30 a.m. on Saturday, May 11th. This is the one that Staff Sergeant Stonechild referred to in his Sunday release. A 38-year-old male from Cumberland House was found breaching court-imposed conditions by just being present in the residence, and when officers attempted to arrest him for the offense, he resisted violently. One officer received a minor injury during the arrest. The male was arrested at the scene and has been remanded in custody pending his initial appearance in Prince Albert Provincial Court, which happened this morning at 10 o'clock. I have provided the information number for you. He's been charged with 4 counts of breach of reconnaissance, 3 counts of resisting lawful arrest, and 1 count of assaulting a police officer. Staff Sergeant Stonechild referred to the RID report, impaired driving, statistics and impaired driving. Both RID calls from concerned citizens and impaired driving charges have in fact increased in our community over the last few weeks. Just a reminder to the public that if you observe what you believe to be impaired drivers on the road, please safely call 911. I have included a few, some statistical data for you, and I'll refer to that just briefly before we continue on. You'll notice that the time period year to date is December 30th to May 11th. We've actually dropped slightly in that year to date time frame on RID calls from 323, and that's the time period December 30th to May 11th, comparing 2012 to 2013. We're down just slightly on those RID calls. We could say that they're very, very similar, just down 4 over that year time period, year comparison time period from December 30th to May 11th. In the 4-week period, you'll see that we're up from 66 to 81, comparing year to year. And the statistical data, you'll see that our impaired driving stats are up slightly from 43 to 57. And we can discuss those at the conclusion of today's news conference, if you're interested. A few more file updates. File 13-11760. On Thursday, May 9th at 2:45 a.m., Prince Albert Police responded to a RID call in a parking lot in the 3200 block of 2nd Avenue West. The original complainant stated a vehicle was idling in the lot with a female behind the wheel and a male passenger. The caller felt that the driver and the passenger were both intoxicated. Patrol determined the occupants could leave the area in a cab without being charged if the vehicle was left in the lot. The cab was called, and the female driver, or the person sitting in the driver's seat, was very cooperative. When the cab arrived, the male chose to exit the vehicle and began screaming obscenities at police. Despite an additional warning, he continued and was informed he was under arrest for causing a disturbance. At this point, he chose to violently resist police and was physically arrested and lodged in cells. Once sober, this 33-year-old Prince Albert male was released on an undertaking. He is scheduled to make his initial appearance in Prince Albert Provincial Court on Wednesday, May 22nd at 1:30 p.m. I have provided the information number. He's charged with resisting arrest and causing a disturbance. What I didn't note there, I did. He was released on an undertaking with several conditions. File number 13-11858. On Friday, May 10th at 3:15 a.m., Prince Albert Police responded to a complaint at the Pine Grove entrance to Little Red Park. Someone had smashed through the locked entrance to the gate. Staff at Pine Grove had closed and relocked the gate. Police officers entered the park on foot. Officers located 2 male suspects and one immediately fled on foot. He was arrested after a brief foot chase. The 20-year-old Prince Albert man has been remanded in custody, charged with 6 counts of breaching various court-imposed release conditions. Again, an information number has been provided. He was remanded in custody and made his initial appearance in Prince Albert Provincial Court this morning. Just a comment on that one, the 6 counts of breaching various court-imposed release conditions also include a couple of court conditions that were imposed on him as a young offender. So just be careful when you're doing your research on that information number. They do include a couple of charges that resulted when he was underage. And finally, file number 13-12098. Yesterday on Sunday, May 12th at 5:30 a.m., Prince Albert Police responded to a complaint of a break-and-enter and an assault in the 800 block of 7th Street East. The complainant stated a male she had been involved in a domestic relationship with in the past had broken into her home and assaulted her. Police carefully checked the residence and located the 27-year-old male suspect hiding behind a hidden door at the back of a closet. He was arrested without further incident. The complainant suffered just a very minor injury. Suspect has been charged with break-and-enter and assault and was remanded in custody. He also made his initial appearance in Prince Albert Provincial Court earlier this morning. I'd welcome whatever questions you have from the release.